June 6, 1944. 6:29 a.m. Omaha Beach, Normandy. The sea is gray. Not calm. Not wild. Just restless. A blunt-nosed wooden craft slams against the chop, its hull shuddering with every wave. Inside, 36 American soldiers from the 116th Infantry Regiment stand shoulder to shoulder, boots slipping on wet planks. Their rifles are clutched tight. Breath comes fast. No one speaks. Machine gun fire crackles from the cliffs ahead. The coxswain squints through spray and smoke. He's barely 20. The tide is wrong. The current is pulling them east. Tracers slash across the water like red-hot wires. 30 seconds. The men turn toward the steel ramp at the front of the boat. It's dented from earlier runs. The hinges rattle. Salt water drips from its edge. A corporal swallows hard. You can almost hear it over the engine's growl. The boat lurches forward. Then the engine cuts. Silence, except for the hiss of bullets striking water. The ramp drops, and half the front row disappears in a storm of German MG-42 fire. The Higgins boat doesn't hesitate. It can't. The coxswain guns the engine, swings the craft away from shore as bodies and packs fall into the surf. Another wave of soldiers leaps into waist-deep water, struggling forward through sand and blood. Behind them, another Higgins boat approaches. And another. And another. By nightfall, more than 1,500 of these small, flat-bottomed craft will deliver American troops onto the beaches of Normandy. They will carry Rangers to Point du Hoc, engineers with Bangalore torpedoes, medics who already know there won't be enough morphine. But this morning, this very moment, those men inside the boat don't care about numbers or strategy. They care about surviving the next 10 seconds. The craft reverses, engine roaring, splintered wood shaking under impact from stray rounds. The coxswain wipes salt from his eyes and turns back toward the transport ship waiting offshore. Another load is coming. Because this boat, the simple wooden box with a steel ramp, was built for this exact chaos. And just a few years earlier, the United States Navy nearly rejected it. They said it was too crude, too flat, too civilian. They laughed. They were wrong. To understand how this unassuming craft came to carry an army across the English Channel, you have to leave the cold gray water of Normandy and travel south, far south, to the swamps of Louisiana, where a stubborn boat builder refused to listen, and where the war was still someone else's problem. For now. New Orleans, Louisiana, 1938. The Mississippi River moves slow and heavy under a humid sky. Inside a cluttered boatyard along the Industrial Canal, Andrew Jackson Higgins stands with his sleeves rolled up, cigar clenched between his teeth. The air smells of sawdust and diesel. Workers hammer planks into place while a flat-bottomed craft rests half-finished on wooden supports. It doesn't look military. It looks stubborn. Higgins runs his hand along the hull. Wide beam, shallow draft, reinforced bow, designed to slide over mud, not slice through open ocean. He built it for trappers, oilmen, and men who worked the Louisiana marshlands where conventional boats ran aground. He calls it the Eureka boat. It can skim over water so shallow you could step out and walk. It can push onto a riverbank, unload cargo, and reverse off without a pier. No elegance, no glamour, just utility. When U.S. Marines first see it during exercises in 1939, they don't admire it. They study it. The Corps has a problem. War clouds gather over Europe. The Japanese Empire tightens its grip in the Pacific. The United States is thinking about island warfare, landing troops where no harbor exists. But their current landing craft are useless. They have high sides, no front ramp. Soldiers must climb over the edge under fire, exposing their backs and losing precious seconds. Seconds that get men killed. Major General Hollandem, Smith of the Marine Corps watches a Eureka boat grind its way onto a muddy bank during trials near Lake Pontchartrain. It doesn't stall. It doesn't stick. It climbs. Smith turns to his officers. This is what we need. The Navy, however, isn't convinced. They prefer tradition. They prefer polished designs from established shipyards. Higgins is a civilian contractor with a temper and no patience for bureaucracy. His boats look rough, practical, too simple. Flat bottoms, they argue, won't handle heavy surf. They're wrong, but they don't know it yet. Higgins does something bold. He doesn't argue with memos. He invites the Marines back. Again and again. He modifies the hull, adjusts the bow, reinforces the structure. He listens to enlisted men, not just admirals. Then one day, during testing, a Marine officer makes an observation that changes everything. The boat can land perfectly. It can unload quickly, but troops still have to climb over the sides. Under fire, that's a death sentence. Higgins stares at the bow of his craft, and you can almost see the idea forming. If soldiers can't climb over the sides, then the front must open. It's a radical suggestion. A hinged ramp at the bow, steel-plated, dropping directly onto the beach. Some naval architects call it absurd. Too vulnerable, too mechanical, too exposed. But Higgins doesn't design for elegance. He designs for survival. Within months, his engineers produce a prototype. They call it the landing craft, vehicle, personnel. The LCVP, 36 men, 1 jeep, or 8,000 pounds of cargo. Straight in, ramp down, out in seconds. When the Navy tests it in surf conditions, something unexpected happens. It works. It doesn't slice through waves like a destroyer. It slams. It pounds. It absorbs punishment. But it reaches shore. And that's all that matters. Still, contracts are slow. Doubt lingers. Washington debates budgets. Then December 7th, 1941 arrives. Pearl Harbor burns. Suddenly, the United States needs to project power across oceans. And Andrew Higgins' crude swamp boat is no longer a curiosity. It becomes a necessity. Shipyards in New Orleans explode into activity. Workers flood in, men, women, black, white, experienced, untrained. Higgins hires them all. Production lines stretch across the waterfront. The once mocked civilian boat builder is now building the backbone of amphibious warfare. But even as contracts pour in, some officers still whisper, will it survive real combat? The answer is coming. Not in Louisiana, but on a beach half a world away. August 7th, 1942, 5 a.m. off the coast of Guadalcanal. The Pacific is thick with mist. A line of dark shapes moves toward the shoreline, low silhouettes bouncing against the swell. Inside them, United States Marines grip rifles slick with condensation. Sweat runs down their necks despite the early hour. No one knows exactly what waits beyond the palm trees. This isn't a training exercise anymore. This is the first major American offensive of the war. At the front of each boat, a steel ramp trembles with the vibration of the engine. Coxswains shout over the noise. 30 seconds. The men brace. You can almost feel the tension inside the hull. The weight of boots against wood. The smell of gasoline. The metallic tang of fear. Then the ramps drop. Marines surge forward onto black volcanic sand. No climbing over the sides. No tangled descent under enemy fire. Straight out. Fast. The Japanese resistance at Guadalcanal is scattered at first. The landings are chaotic but survivable. Supplies follow quickly. Ammunition crates, radios, light artillery, all delivered by the same flat-bottomed craft naval planners once doubted. The Higgins boat doesn't look heroic. It looks expendable, but it keeps coming back. In the Solomon Islands, in North Africa during Operation Torch, in Sicily, in Salerno. Each time, the pattern repeats. Engines roaring, ramps slamming down, men spilling into uncertainty. The design proves itself not because it's elegant, but because it's relentless. By 1943, Andrew Higgins factories are producing landing craft at astonishing speed. More than 20,000 workers crowd the shipyards of New Orleans. Assembly lines move like arteries pumping steel and wood into the bloodstream of the war. Higgins himself walks the floors daily. He curses inefficiency, fires managers on the spot, demands faster welding, tighter seals, better engines. He knows something Washington doesn't yet fully grasp. The next war won't be won by battleships alone. It will be won by the ability to put infantry onto hostile shores. President Franklin D. Roosevelt visits one of the yards and watches the boats slide into the water. He understands the scale of what's happening. Later, he will say Andrew Higgins is the man who won the war for us. Not with speeches, with ramps. But the real test is still ahead. Because landing on lightly defended Pacific beaches is one thing. Landing against the Atlantic wall, against concrete bunkers, artillery, and interlocking machine gun fire is another. In early 1944, planners for Operation Overlord gather maps of Normandy across long wooden tables. British General Bernard Montgomery, American General Omar Bradley, naval commanders calculating tides, currents, and moonlight. They need to land over 150,000 men in a single day. There are not enough harbors. There will be no safe docks. There will only be beaches. And those beaches will be killing grounds. Every rifleman, every engineer, every medic stepping onto French sand will arrive the same way. Inside a Higgins boat, the question no longer is whether the design works. The question is whether it can survive the storm that is coming. Because in just a few months, before dawn breaks over Normandy, thousands of ramps will drop at once, and history will hinge on whether they hold. June 5th, 1944, 11:47 p.m. English Channel. The sky is black, torn by low clouds racing east. Wind lashes the decks of Allied transports as the largest invasion fleet in history churns toward France. Below deck, men vomit into helmets. Above, signal lamps blink between ships. Tied along the sides of massive troop transports, hundreds of Higgins boats hang in davits, swaying like pendulums. Their hulls creak, ropes strain, spray freezes against steel fittings. The channel is rougher than planners hoped. Some officers worry the flat-bottomed craft will pound apart before they ever reach shore. In the darkness, sailors lower the first wave into the water. The boats slam down hard, engines coughing to life. Each one carries a slice of America. Farm boys from Kansas, dock workers from Brooklyn, teachers from Ohio. Coxswains grip throttles with numb hands. They've trained for months along the English coast, practicing beach approaches under simulated fire. But nothing prepares you for the real thing. Ahead, the French coastline is invisible. Behind them, the Armada stretches to the horizon. On board one LCVP heading for Omaha Beach, Lieutenant James W. Monteith Jr. of the 16th Infantry Regiment checks his watch by flashlight. 6:30 a.m. H-hour approaches. The boat rises on a swell, then drops hard enough to rattle teeth. Men cling to rifle straps to stay upright. Waves spill over the bow. The ramp shudders against its hinges. Artillery flashes appear faintly on the horizon. German coastal batteries firing blind into the darkness. Then naval gunfire answers. Battleships USS Texas and USS Arkansas unleash thunder that rolls across the sea. Shells scream overhead. The horizon flickers with orange bursts. The Higgins boats push forward through it all. You can almost hear the engines straining, small gasoline motors pulling thousands of tons of expectation behind them. The coast emerges from shadow. Bluffs, concrete, wire, machine gun nests carved into cliffs. As the first wave nears shallow water, obstacles appear: Belgian gates, wooden stakes tipped with mines, steel hedgehogs designed to rip hulls apart. One boat strikes a submerged obstacle. The hull splits. Water rushes in. Soldiers scramble over the sides, packs dragging them under. But most keep moving, because there is no alternative. At 6:29 a.m., the first ramps drop on Omaha. German MG-42s open fire at 1,200 rounds per minute. Men fall before they can take 3 steps. Some boats drift sideways in the surf, pinned by incoming fire. Coxswains wrestle the tiller, reversing hard to escape the kill zone. Others run aground too early. Soldiers wade through chest-deep water, equipment dragging them down. Still, the boats keep coming. Second wave, third wave, engine noise, shouting, smoke thick enough to sting your eyes. At Utah Beach, currents push landing craft nearly 2,000 yards south of their intended zone. Brigadier General Theodore Roosevelt Jr. steps off a Higgins boat, cane in hand, bullets snapping past. "We'll start the war from right here," he says calmly. And so they do. Behind every assault unit, the Higgins boats shuttle back and forth relentlessly, delivering reinforcements, evacuating wounded, bringing in anti-tank guns, radios, jeeps. One coxswain makes 3 trips under fire. Another makes 5. The hulls are scarred, splintered, soaked in seawater and blood. But they hold. By noon, chaos still reigns on Omaha. Casualties, June 8, 1944. New Orleans. The radio crackles in Andrew Higgins' office as casualty reports from Normandy filter through static. The newsroom voices are tight, restrained, measured in tone, but heavy with implication. Heavy losses at Omaha. Beachhead secured. Reinforcements pouring in. Higgins stands by the window overlooking his yard. Another LCVP slides into the Mississippi River below, workers cheering as it hits water clean. He doesn't smile. He knows what those boats are carrying. In Washington, analysts begin reviewing landing reports. Naval officers who once dismissed the flat-bottom design now examine dispatches with quiet disbelief. Despite brutal surf, despite mines and obstacles, despite concentrated German fire, the craft functioned. They landed men in numbers no harbor could have supported. They absorbed punishment and came back for more. General Dwight D. Eisenhower will later write that 4 pieces of equipment were essential to winning the war in Europe: the C-47 transport plane, the Jeep, the 2.5-ton truck, and the Higgins boat. Without them, he believed, the invasion would have been impossible. That isn't flattery. It's logistics. Over 23,000 LCVPs are produced during the war. They are built quickly, cheaply, and in staggering quantities. They do not require elite craftsmen. They require coordination, discipline, and speed. Higgins' workforce grows to nearly 25,000. Women rivet hull plates. Black and white workers labor side by side in one of the few integrated industrial operations of its time. The yard runs around the clock. The Higgins boat becomes the mechanical heartbeat of amphibious warfare. Italy, southern France, the Pacific Islands, Iwo Jima, Okinawa. Each time, the scene repeats. Engine roar, ramp drop, forward into chaos. But innovation rarely earns applause in the moment. Many of the men who land in Normandy never know the name Andrew Higgins. They only know the jolt of the ramp slamming down and the sudden exposure to enemy fire. For them, the boat is not a symbol. It is a doorway, a threshold between safety and survival. And yet, consider the alternative. Imagine D-Day without front-loading ramps. Imagine soldiers climbing over gunnels under machine gun fire, tripping into surf, losing seconds that mean death. Imagine supply chains bottlenecked offshore. The invasion stalls. Momentum breaks. Germany reinforces. History shifts. Instead, thousands of identical wooden hulls formed a floating bridge between Britain and occupied France. A bridge built not from steel giants, but from simple, flat-bottomed craft inspired by swamp boats in Louisiana. After the war, production stops. Contracts vanish. The shipyard's quiet. Andrew Higgins dies in 1952, long before his role in victory is fully recognized. There are no massive monuments to the LCVB, no grand memorials to its designer, just preserved examples in museums, weathered hulls, steel ramps scarred by rust. But if you stand beside one today, run your hand along the rough wood, look at the simplicity of its shape, you realize something. The most decisive innovations in history are not always the largest, not the most glamorous, not the loudest. Sometimes, they are the ones mocked at first, the ones called too crude, too simple, until the day they carry an army and change the world.